Welcome back to Epic Quotes. If you're new to the channel, we take a deep dive into the lives of extraordinary individuals, learning from their experiences, struggles, and the wisdom they left behind. These are stories that can inspire us to think differently and live more fully. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and turn on notifications so you never miss a powerful story. Today, we're going to explore the life of one of the most brilliant minds in history, Charles Darwin. His groundbreaking theory of evolution forever changed the way we see life on Earth. But his story goes far beyond just science. His perseverance, his curiosity, and his courage in the face of opposition offer us invaluable lessons. Let's dive into the fascinating life of Charles Darwin and uncover the lessons that can inspire us today. Charles Darwin was born on February 12, 1809, in Shrewsbury, England, to a wealthy family. His father, Robert Darwin, was a successful doctor, and his grandfather, Erasmus Darwin, was a well-known physician and intellectual. With such an academic background, Charles was expected to follow in his father's footsteps and pursue a career in medicine. However, from a young age, Darwin showed little interest in medicine and much more interest in the natural world. As a child, Darwin was constantly collecting specimens. Whether it was insects, plants, or rocks, he had an insatiable curiosity about the world around him. His love for nature was evident even in his early years. But when it came to formal education, Darwin wasn't exactly a standout student. He struggled with traditional subjects, preferring hands on learning over books. This early rebellion against convention would become a theme throughout his life. At the age of 16, Darwin entered the University of Edinburgh to study medicine, but he quickly realized he was unsuited for the rigors of surgery. His dislike for the sight of blood and his distaste for medical procedures made him reconsider his path. This was one of the first defining moments of his life. Sometimes it's okay to recognize when something isn't for you. Instead of pushing through a path that didn't suit him, Darwin made the brave decision to step away and seek a path that resonated with his true passion. Darwin's journey took him to Cambridge University, where he shifted focus to study natural history. It was here that he met John Stevens Henslow, a botany professor who became one of his mentors. Henslow recognized Darwin's potential and encouraged him to pursue a career in natural sciences. This pivotal moment marked the beginning of Darwin's transformation from a student to a future revolutionary scientist. The lesson here is clear. When you align your life with your passion, you unlock your true potential. In 1831, when Darwin was just 22 years old, a life-changing opportunity came his way. He was invited to join the Beagle, a British naval ship that was setting out on a 5-year scientific voyage to map the coastlines of South America. Darwin was hired as the ship's naturalist, and this voyage would become the cornerstone of his scientific career. The journey took Darwin to some of the most remote corners of the world, including the Galapagos Islands, South America, Australia, and Africa. The diverse ecosystems he encountered would forever shape his thinking. But it was on the Galapagos Islands that Darwin made his most important observations. He noticed that the finches on each island had subtly different beaks, each one suited to the specific types of food available. This was the first clue that led him to question the established view of fixed, unchanging species. Darwin also made significant observations about the geology of the regions he visited. In South America, he discovered fossils of extinct animals that seemed remarkably similar to those still living in the area. This reinforced his emerging theory that life on Earth had not been created as it was but had changed over time. This period in Darwin's life highlights an essential lesson. Growth happens when we step outside our comfort zones. Darwin's willingness to travel to new and often challenging environments, and his openness to observing the world through fresh eyes, allowed him to make discoveries that would forever change the course of science. His journey reminds us that the world is full of untapped opportunities for learning, and sometimes We must venture into the unknown to make meaningful discoveries. After returning to England in 1836, Darwin didn't immediately publish his findings. Instead, he spent nearly 2 decades refining his theory. He continued to gather evidence, conduct experiments, and share his ideas with fellow scientists. This period of intense research and reflection was critical to the development of his groundbreaking theory of evolution. In 1859, after much contemplation and hesitation, Darwin published On the Origin of Species, where he proposed that species evolve over time through a process of natural selection. He argued that organisms with traits that are better suited to their environment have a better chance of surviving and passing those traits on to their offspring. Over time, this gradual process of change could lead to the formation of new species. The publication of this book was revolutionary, but it was also highly controversial. Many in the scientific community and religious institutions rejected Darwin's ideas, seeing them as a direct challenge to traditional beliefs. Despite the backlash, Darwin stood firm in his beliefs, defending his theory with the evidence he had painstakingly collected over the years. Darwin's story teaches us a vital lesson. Be prepared for resistance when you challenge the status quo. Innovation often faces opposition, and it can be difficult to stand by your beliefs when others doubt you. But Darwin's persistence in defending his ideas, despite overwhelming criticism, shows that staying true to your principles and standing up for what you believe in is a powerful act. In the years following the publication of On the Origin of Species, more and more evidence began to support Darwin's theory. Fossils, genetic studies, and advances in evolutionary biology have since confirmed his ideas. This validates the lesson that patience and perseverance in your work can lead to success, even if it takes time for the world to catch up. Charles Darwin's influence on modern science cannot be overstated. His theory of evolution formed the bedrock of modern biology, genetics, and ecology. It completely changed how scientists understand the development of life on Earth. Evolution is now a unifying theory in biology, explaining not only the diversity of life, but also how life adapts and survives in response to changing environments. But Darwin's legacy extends beyond just science. His work has influenced fields such as psychology, medicine, and even philosophy. His ideas about adaptation and survival in a changing world have had a profound impact on how we view human progress and the struggle for survival. Darwin's theory provided the framework for understanding how organisms and civilizations grow, evolve, and adapt to their environments. Moreover, Darwin's journey and work also teach us that we are all part of something much bigger than ourselves. The interconnections between species, ecosystems, and life on Earth remind us of the importance of understanding and preserving the natural world. Darwin's legacy is not just in his discoveries, but in how they have shaped our thinking about humanity's place in the world. One of the most remarkable aspects of Darwin's life was his ability to persist in the face of numerous challenges. Throughout his life, Darwin struggled with chronic illness, suffering from various ailments, including severe stomach problems, fatigue, and depression. Despite these challenges, he never stopped working on his research. In fact, many of his most important ideas and insights came during the periods when he was bedridden, reflecting deeply on his observations. Darwin's personal resilience teaches us one of the most powerful lessons. Even when life throws obstacles in your path, persistence can lead to success. Darwin didn't let his health issues, the criticisms he faced, or the doubts of others derail his mission. He continued to work tirelessly on his theories, and ultimately, his work changed. His life is a shining example of how persistence, even in the face of personal and professional adversity, can lead to groundbreaking achievements. Whether you're working on a personal goal, a scientific discovery, or a creative project, Darwin's story teaches us that success often comes to those who are willing to keep going despite the odds. Charles Darwin's life was a journey of discovery, not only about the natural world, but also about the power of curiosity, perseverance, and resilience. His story teaches us that greatness often comes from following your passion, even when the path is unclear or difficult. He reminds us that change and growth are inevitable parts of life, and that understanding and embracing evolution, both in nature and in our own lives, can help us navigate challenges and find success. Darwin's life encourages us to never stop asking questions, to remain open to new experiences, and to always be persistent, even in the face of opposition. So, as you reflect on your own life and goals, remember Charles Darwin. His journey teaches us that with passion, curiosity, and persistence, we can all contribute to something that lasts for generations. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the life of Charles Darwin, don't forget to hit that like button. Share this video with your friends and subscribe to Epic Quotes for more stories of inspiration and wisdom. Remember, curiosity fuels discovery and persistence paves the way to greatness. Stay the way to greatness. Stay curious, stay determined, and we'll see you in the next video.